Alright guys, today there's a quick 3 topics for me. First one, just one update on the NHL. Second, NBA. And the third is going to have something to do with baseball that you know a little bit later. So the first one, NHL playoffs. Looking really good. Ben Bishop got injured, not looking good for the Lightning. I still think that I now think that the Lightning, without Ben Bishop, because I originally thought that the Caps would make it and then the Penguins. But then going into this, I think, oh crap, the Lightning might actually have a chance. Well, no, now that Ben Bishop is back, after last night, I thought that there was no chance because I didn't know what Ben Bishop was going to have coming back. Well, he's coming back tomorrow night. So, I'm going to have to say that the Lightning are going to have to take it this time. And now, for the Western Conference, which is still the teams that I think that are going to win it. I still think that the Blues, if Elliott played like he did last night, even though the offense and the defense both got outplayed by the Sharks, I still think that the Blues have a really good shot at going back to the Stanley Cup for the first time since their third year in the league. I like their chances. I think they have a good chance at winning it, too. Especially if Brian Elliott, who I've admittedly dissed lots and lots of times. But I do think that there is a good chance that he could be a really good goalie in the championship if he keeps it up and doesn't choke. Now, it's on to the NBA. Steph Curry lost last night to the Thunder. Well, I'm a Laker fan, so I would have to say that I'm kind of happy about this. I don't like, except for the fact of that I want Durant this offseason to sign with my Lakers. Durant is a great player. He's a free agent. If he can't get it done in OKC with a young team behind him in LA, there's no reason why he wouldn't go and transfer there. Especially if Russell Westbrook, which next year, after this offseason and after next year's playoffs, he will also be a free agent. He will be a free agent. So you got to think, well, Westbrook's from USC. He's from South Cali. He was a Lakers fan. Durant likes playing with Westbrook. Why wouldn't they both go there? The only problem is here. When you move it that way, you have no room. If you do in the next 2 years take Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant away from him, though, that leaves problems for both OKC and LA. Well, OKC losing your 2 biggest stars, and you're not going to be a good team anymore. The Lakers, on the other hand, have a great young lineup with Russell, Clarkson, Randall, and if Hibbert stays Hibbert, which I don't know who they're gonna have their center be, especially if they don't. But Randall could be a center if they do draft Ben Simmons this year. They're gonna have a top pick, so they're gonna take Brandon Ingram. Thinking Celtics now. Brandon Ingram, or they're gonna take Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a small forward / power forward. Well, if they end up drafting Simmons but sign Durant, this is what their lineup's gonna look like next year. Russell at the 1, Clarkson at the 2, and then you have Durant, Simmons, Randall. That's what it looks like. Now think 2 years ahead if they do happen to do this, if they happen to pull it off, getting Durant and Westbrook to sign away from OKC. This is what they're gonna have a great young lineup and a lot of dilemma, because you have a number 1 pick, D'Angelo Russell, or Russell Westbrook. You have Russell versus Clarkson. You have Durant versus Clarkson. You have Simmons versus Randall, or Simmons versus both Clarkson and Durant. I don't know what you do there. Clarkson's a great shooting guard / point guard. He's a great 1. He is the most average 1 in the league. the other problem is that you have so many of these young guys, but you also have two guys that are stars. They made names for themselves in this league. Going to LA, well, they might have some lineup problems for the next coach, which is Luke Walton. And Luke Walton did an amazing job this year. I hope that he can just kind of reiterate the same thing. So, now it's on to baseball. Now, here we go. This is what I like talking about. This is what I love talking about the most. So we might go on for a little bit here. Jose Bautista kind of got what was coming for him on Sunday. But he kind of didn't deserve it. Let me paint... if you guys didn't know, if you are guys... You're completely non-existent, paying attention to the sports world since October. There's been a dilemma on bat flips. There's been a dilemma on pimping it. There's been a dilemma of, well, the slide rule. So the Chase Utley rule comes into play in this situation, kind of. What Bautista did in this game was a dirty slide. He slid late, he slid on top of the base, he did not slide and stay on the base, he slid directly. It's a baseball play, but because of that Chase Utley rule, it's illegal, which I don't really like that Utley rule for that reason. I understand because he broke a guy's leg, which is on my Cardinals now, which I don't even think that he should be. When Peralta comes back, he's probably going down because Diaz is better than Tejada. So I think that there's a possibility of... I just don't like that rule. The rule is really bad, what I should say. The rule is that you can't slide late. Okay, but you have to stay holding on to the base. Well, if you're out, that shouldn't matter. And you cannot have your cleats higher than about halfway up your shin. Okay, that's kind of fair, but that's kind of not. It's always been legal to slide and take out a shortstop, and now you're taking that away, just like you did a couple years, like 4 years back, with the no plowing over the catcher rule. Well, they want to avoid being out. I understand that catchers' careers are getting shortened because of this, but getting bowled over is a fairly baseball play. But then you have to give them a lane to get them out, to get them a lane to slide in. Well, I really don't like that. It's just that when you slide in at home, sometimes you have to slide around. When you slide behind, you kind of miss it sometimes. Slide in front, you might miss it as well. But if you just go right over that catcher and he drops that ball, you're safe. There's no question. As long as he drops that ball, you're most likely going to be safe. But now, because of that rule, it's not. And because of that rule at second base, where if it's a dirty slide... Oh, okay, let me lay down for you what the rule is. So when you slide, you cannot slide late. You cannot take out... You cannot be a direct attempt to take out the shortstop. You can make it kind of look like that, but you can kind of make it not. You have to hold on to the base. But you also can't stab your cleats into them. They can't be above, I think it's either halfway up the shin or above knee height. Because then it's just, there's no chance for him to get out of the way. It's a baseball play. Bautista, when he slid in the other day, he slid late. I understand that. That's the only part that I think is fair. How about just make it to where no sliding late? You have to slide early. You can take them out like a normal play, but you cannot slide when you're 2 feet away from the base. If you're maybe like, you can't slide like 6 inches away from the base. Maybe 2 feet is a little bit better, but when you slide in, you should not slide that so that when your butt hits the ground, your butt's hitting the base instead of everything else. That's what Bautista did the other day. And for that, Odor turned around, Bautista stared him down, and Odor just balled up his fist and just went at him, and then just started beating him with his glove. and Bautista got what was coming for him, especially not only doing a monster bat flip that was still, again, it's kind of a dilemma, but that bat flip, I don't know if you can say it's legal or illegal. I don't know, but sliding in late, breaking the new rule against the team you completely dishonored by just bat flipping it crazy. Like, I understand if it's like a little bit of a, but that was like if it's a little bit of a flip where you kind of make the bat turn a little bit, or make it do maybe a 180 or something. I don't know, but still, what he did, which was after swinging and hitting it with his arm, he moved it and he chucked it, and it almost got back into that dugout. It almost went over that dugout. I'm telling you. It's not, he had what was coming for him when he did that. So I don't feel any sympathy for him. Bautista, you're a great player, but you kind of had what was coming for him. So, alright. That's all I got for this time. So, why don't I just give you the bobblehead of the day and we'll be done. So, this time it is, okay, we're going to go with the figure of the day. Hold on. Let me look. I didn't think it's different. Yeah. I'll be right back. Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. This was, this was at Coors Field, so this was when it was the Coors Field All-Star game. But pretty cool. It's not a bobblehead, it's a figurine. But still pretty cool, and Griffey, very good. This was when he was with the Mariners, so I don't remember when it was at Coors Field, when it was with the Rockies, but still, pretty cool. Ken Griffey, obviously one of the greatest baseball players of all time, so that's why I chose him. So, yeah, that's all I got. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next video. See ya.